We're going to learn how to make batteries out of what you see here. All you see is some pennies and some JB Weld. And I actually experimented with this idea before, but this is a better idea to use these types of pennies. And what I mean is, my experiments before were using these pennies that were 1982 or older, and they were 90% copper, and so that's why I was using these. And then I was using a piece of aluminum for the positive negative terminals of the battery. And what I was trying to do is get these connected and solidified, and I would use this wire glue and to adhere to each other so that I have a positive negative metals. And then I would put a quartz rock, just a flat quartz rock, and I cut them into these little circles, and I put them in between like a little sandwich. And a stack like this, and I did get some power out of that. And the challenge is just to get that conductivity in between the metals and the quartz. So what this is better because these pennies from 1983 or newer have just a coating of copper on it, and then in the core metal is zinc. And I'm not sure if that's the case with all pennies. I know just the newer pennies have zinc on it, and the surface is copper. So this is the other video that came into play. Is I watched the video, they just shaved off one side of the penny so that the zinc is exposed. And so basically what you get is you get already fused together positive negative metals. And some people use zinc in making their own batteries. So this is a perfect scenario in making your own little penny batteries. I thought about JB Weld, and I was wondering, it's a steel hardener. So I made some cement batteries before, and I had some success with that. Check that out. It's from cement. That is amazing. I also had made some batteries with some grout that was for tile. Alright, this is what I came up with. I just put that little candle light on there, and I put a switch on it. And essentially that was the same thing, as made of this similar materials and stuff. So when it hardened, I was able to make some batteries out of it. And I have some videos on that if you wanted to see that. So I thought about JB Weld. I thought, well, maybe it has the ability to create some power as well. And I looked up on the internet here and just was trying to figure out what JB Weld was made of. And down here it says, let's see, the crystalline silica, basically quartz, is added to the resin for body and viscosity, without which the goop would be too fluid to adhere and properly, more like JB melt. So crystalline silica, that's what I was looking for. Quartz, basically quartz. So when this hardens, it'll just be like this quartz rock, same material that's inside JB Weld. And that's the same, and a lot of quartz is in cement and mortar and stuff. So this is going to be the same thing. I'm going to see if this works. I have a lot of confidence that it will, just because of my previous tests. And then we're going to stack these on each other, basically shave one side off and just put some JB Weld in between and just sandwich them all the way up, and just see if we can make a battery and see if we can get some power out of it. So these are just experiments. I may not get too much power out of it. I'm hoping to get an LED light to light up. In the other video they showed putting cardboard in between the sandwich here with some vinegar soaked in the cardboard. So that created acidic reaction to the metals, and then it created power. And they basically only put 3 of them together, and then they got a LED to light up. So that's one video. You could do that. That's a good experiment to do. This one's going to be a solid one, so I wanted to have a solid, permanent battery to just see if it works. But you basically just get it on a piece of sandpaper and keep sanding it until it gets to the zinc. Now you could either use a wire brush or sandpaper, whatever it takes. We're going to start with 3. I'm just trying to get a little drop on there just so it squeezes on. I'm trying not to do it too thick or too thin. I just wanted to get it just a good thickness. And then when I squeeze these pennies together, then there'll be enough of it to spread across but not touch the metal in between. There you go. Now you got the positive side or the negative side, whatever that is, and you got the negative side. So there's both positive and negative. Maybe it's switched around. We'll figure that out. But that's the idea. It's pretty simple. So I'll just touch it lightly, see if it has any reaction. It's doing something. 0.4 or something. We'll have to switch to positive, negative. .43. Or we're getting some voltage out of it. So so far it's a positive test. It's a confirmation that it's true. We will test this when it gets hard, see if it has any more or less power, who knows. I'll let it harden a little bit, so it still needs some time to cure, but I'm just curious. See what happens. Okay, there's definitely less voltage now. And it discharges. So who knows, maybe this is not the best experiment. We'll do the other cardboard vinegar battery and we'll see if it works. All I had on hand was apple cider vinegar. It should work the same. You could probably use lemon juice, pretty much anything acidic. Okay, these are just 3 pennies with apple cider vinegar, or it could be plain vinegar soaked in cardboard. See, positive is on top. Wow, look at that. 1.1 volts. Be awesome. We'll just keep experimenting with that, and then we're going to see how much power we can get with more pennies. Okay, I got some more pennies prepared, and I got some cardboard soaking in some apple cider vinegar, and we're going to see if we can get to these LEDs to light up. Nine pennies all stacked up. Smells like vinegar. And we'll just see if we get, let's see what kind of power we get out of it first. Boom. Overload. 4.3 volts. The amps are probably really small, but let's see if this lights it up. Lights it up like a party. Okay, it looks like that confirms it's true. Let's see if this works. I don't know how to do this one because it's... There it is. Well, that's good enough for me. It confirms that it's true from the video that I saw doing that. You can do your own experiments as long as you know what's going on here. And look up John Bedini's his YouTube channel. He does experiments with pennies. He does all sorts of other experiments with crystals, getting power out of crystals. He goes really into depth. So if you're interested in doing simple things like this and experimenting, you can learn a lot more. This is going to be fun for the whole family, kids, and doing it yourself. And they're very simple ideas. But look up John Bedini's, start there, and then you could go off with your own imagination and really get further into this. This is just scraping the surface of the potential of this, and you could pretty much experiment with anything you want to see what happens. And they don't teach this in school, so at least they don't teach the potential of this in school. This is stuff that we're going to have to experiment on our own and really tap into the potential of this. Essentially, this is free electricity, free energy. See how far you can go with it. Get a flashlight running. Use some jewel thieves. Learn how to make those and amplify the amperage on these little things. And then go as far as creating your own self-generated batteries. Also, there is another guy that makes his own self-generated batteries based off of this concept. So I'm trying to get that far, but there's so much to experiment with. If everybody can start experimenting with it and figure this out, pull a capacitor off a computer or something and see if it charges it, and then maybe you can get as far as charging a cell phone or something like that. But go to his channel. He also has some good insights, and we'll keep experimenting with this and see how far we can get with it.